I've made a very bold claim in the title of this video, but it's a claim that I believe to be true. I want to show you a single exercise that you can do at home that is going to help the vast majority of older tennis players to improve all of their shots. Whatever technique it is that you're trying to improve, it's going to help with it. And this is where we have to get real about tennis. Tennis is a movement-based sport. Before you can hit shots, you have to get to the ball. And then it's all about getting set up in the best position possible. The better the position you get set up in, the more likely it is that you'll be able to hit a good quality shot. But when you watch the vast majority of older players, obviously this doesn't apply to all older players, but for the vast majority, one of the biggest things holding them back is they're not able to get to the ball quickly enough, and they're not able to get set up in optimal positions. And one of the reasons that that is happening is because they have insufficient leg strength and flexibility. So what I want to show you is one simple exercise that's going to help you to improve your leg strength and flexibility. So then you'll be able to move around the court more quickly and safely. You'll be able to set up in better positions, and that's going to help with all of your shots, including your serve, because strength and flexibility in your lower body is also really important for your serve. So hopefully you find the video helpful. If you do, it'd be great if you could give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's always much appreciated if you could do that as well. So the exercise we're going to work on is going to be a lunge or a split squat. And the reason that we've chosen this exercise is because it enables us to strengthen pretty much every muscle in the lower body. And it also enables us to increase flexibility in certain key muscles as well. And then if you want to think about the shots that you hit when you play, all shots are hit from some type of lunge position. Neutral stance forehand, neutral stance backhand, open stance forehand, open stance backhands. All of your volleys, they're all hit from variations of the lunge. So it's a really foundational movement that you need to have a certain degree of strength and flexibility in. I'm going to start by showing you the technique, because there's going to be a few things that are going to be important. And then after that, I'm going to be talking about kind of how to program things and what I consider to be kind of minimum strength and flexibility requirements in terms of numbers. So technique-wise, where you set up with your back leg is going to be dependent on your level of flexibility, but the key thing that we want is going to be the pelvis to remain in neutral. So what I don't want you to do is allow your back to arch like that. We want to keep the pelvis in neutral. So this is a neutral pelvis. This is a forwards tilting pelvis with an arch back. That's what we don't want. So we're going to be maintaining a neutral pelvis. I'm going to start on the ball of this foot, and I'm actually going to lift the heel on this front leg. If you need to start with the heel down to get your balance, that's okay. But then we want to lift the heel on this front leg because we want to train our ability to be strong while we're staying on the balls of our feet, because this is what we want to do while we're moving around the court and staying light on our toes. So this is the starting position, and then I'm just going to lower down under control, maintaining a neutral pelvis. And when you get into this position, you'll probably feel a stretch on your calf, and you'll feel a stretch on your back leg or hip. But you've got to try and maintain that pelvis, and then you'll push back up. It's going to slide my leg back a smidgen. So I'm going to lower down under control, and then I'm going to push back up. Lower down under control, keeping my body upright. So I have to have a certain degree of core stability in order to do this. I have a certain degree of strength in the front leg, flexibility in the calf, flexibility and strength in the back leg. And then I'm going to push back up. Now, that's the basic technique. We want to do it initially at a certain speed. The speed at which we do strength exercises can be really important, but one of the key things is that we can decelerate ourselves, we can slow ourselves down effectively, because if we can slow ourselves down effectively, our body's gonna feel safer, giving us more power. So for that reason, what I want you to do is lower yourself for 4 seconds. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna push straight back up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, pushing straight back up, but maintaining control. So what we shouldn't see is the body leaning forwards excessively. When we do this, that's going to indicate a lack of flexibility, and I'll talk about some regressions in a moment. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and then push back up. And you should be able to do between 10 and 12 reps at that speed. 4 seconds down, powerfully back up. Then rest for 30 seconds. Then switch to the other side and repeat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Same technique, keeping a neutral pelvis. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, 10 to 12 reps. Rest for 30 seconds. go back to the other side, 10 to 12 reps, rest for 30 seconds, other side. And then repeat it once more. Rest for 30 seconds, right leg. Rest for 30 seconds, left leg. So we've done a total of 3 sets of basically 12 reps at that speed with 30 seconds rest in between. And I consider that to be a bare minimum standard for both strength and flexibility, as well as a little bit of strength endurance as well. Now, the best plan is to try it and see whether you're able to do it. If you are, awesome. I consider you to be safe, and that's going to be covering your minimum bases. Potentially, you might benefit from increasing your strength further, so maybe holding some dumbbells or adding some weight in the form of a weighted vest. That can be really useful. But if you aren't able to do 3 sets of 12 reps at that speed with a 30-second rest in between, I consider that to be a major injury risk and definitely a limitation on your performance. So I highly recommend spending time working on this exercise, and depending on your recovery ability, you could do this maybe 2 to 3 times a week in addition to playing tennis. If your recovery ability is really poor, you might need to lose a little bit of tennis and focus on the strength. But I personally believe that's one of the best things that you can do for the reasons that I outlined at the start. The better you are at moving to the ball, the better you'll be able to hit all of your shots. You might also need to regress the exercise a little bit. So one regression you can use is to hold on to assist with your balance, because some people will be really unstable. So you can just start by holding on to maintain your balance. You might also find the flexibility side of things hard. If you try to do the lunge and you find that you're having to lean forwards because this back hip is so tight, then we might need to work on that. And one of the best ways to work on it is via this exercise. You just have to focus on keeping your pelvis neutral. So you'll be kind of using your core to hold that position, and then just working through a reduced range of motion. So I could hold on or not hold on, but say I can only get to there before I get ridiculous tightness in the back hip. I'm just going to use that as my range. I'll still be able to get some strength in my calves, in my ankles, in my quads, in my hamstrings, in my glutes, in my adductors. But now we're also going to be getting a little bit of strength in this lengthened position as I push up from the back leg. So I can lower slowly down into this position. I can hold it for a few seconds to kind of teach my body how to be in this position. And then hopefully over time, as you do it, you'll be able to get lower and lower as this leg gets stronger. It'll get more and more used to being in this position. So by working on it, you should be able to eventually increase your range of motion. So that's also a regression that you can do. It's just a case of working at the appropriate level for you. So give it a try and leave me a comment down below. Let me know, did you pass those minimum strength requirements? Now, before I go, I want to let you know about a free live Neuro tennis challenge that I'm holding pretty soon. This is a 5-day event where I'm going to be teaching you how you can use brain-based training to improve your vision and your balance and your coordination. Because just like strength is important for playing tennis and flexibility is important for playing tennis, your hand-to-eye coordination is one of the biggest limiting factors. So if you would like to learn how to improve that, I'll place the link to this free workshop down in the description. Click on that link, it'll take you over to a different page where you can learn more about it and then potentially register. Okay, hopefully the video has been useful to you. If it has, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about what I've gone through here or how to implement things within your training regime, again, leave me a comment down below and I'll catch you next time.